Hello and welcome to another release of Tabular Editor 3. This is a release focused on helping you maintain your model with updates for DAX, table groups, and Semantic Bridge. First up, we have improvements for DAX user-defined functions, or UDFs, which is a way to reuse your calculation logic in models and the biggest change to the DAX language in recent years. DAX UDFs are now generally available, and Tabular Editor has a whole bunch of features that help you write, use, and reuse your functions. Let's take a look at a few examples. Here's an example of a DAX user-defined function for a year-over-year calculation. DAX user-defined functions now support optional parameters, like this one, years back, where we can specify the default value. If we add this parameter instead of the integer here, we can then have our default value of 1. So if we go to the measure where we want to use it, we don't have to specify a value, we can just add a comma and it will use the default that is in the expression, in this case 1. So it's going to compute for us the invoice lines year over year for 1 year, but if we change that to 2, it overrides the default value, and when we save and go back to our report, when we refresh, it's now going to show us the difference with 2 years. This is an optional parameter, and notice that we specified it as an integer. If we were to use a decimal, we would get a warning because Tabular Editor warns us when we're using the incorrect type. Implicit type conversions can cause problems, and Tabular Editor gives you this kind of heads up. This is similar to when you are using a measure reference and you instead have it as a scalar, which is something that's not going to work inside of a calculate function for filter context modification. It's also important to mention that many of our DAX code assistance features are also available in the Tabular Editor command line interface too, which helps you and your agents write better DAX than in other tools. Next up, we have table groups, which are folders to organize tables in your model. This is a really helpful way to organize big models. To create table groups, you just want to shift select the tables that you want to group, and then right click and you can select Move to Group. You can then give the group a name like dimensions, and then repeat the process for any tables that you want to group together. If you want to ungroup tables, you can right click and select Move to Group None, or drag them into or out of the group. Keep in mind that grouping and renaming is something you can always do with the push of a button with a C# script or the AI assistant. Last but not least, Semantic Bridge now supports the Databricks Metric View YAML 1.1 specification, which just means that it's easier to keep your semantic models and your Databricks metric views in sync. Here's a quick demo of how to use the Semantic Bridge to import a metrics views specification into Tabular Editor to convert it to a Power BI semantic model. To import a metric view in Tabular Editor, you have to select New, Model, and then create a new tabular model, and then open Import the Metric View YAML. From here, you'll have to select the YAML that you want to import, which is the specification that you've downloaded from Databricks, and then you have to select the host and HTTP path. From here, if you have any issues with the import, Tabular Editor will warn you, and afterwards you'll be able to inspect all of your model objects like tables, columns, and measures. Measures that couldn't be converted will show you the expression they were in Databricks, so you can convert them yourself. You'll be able to also see all of the relationships, and Tabular Editor now also supports snowflake joins, so you can use the diagram view to see the full model after you've imported it. That's everything for now. We hope you enjoy this release, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.